What's going on, guys? In today's video, I'm going to give you 7 tips for a successful hike. If you're new to the channel, my name is Jeremiah Stringer, and here we talk about all things hiking and backpacking. So if you love hitting the trail, then consider subscribing. Tip number 1, if you're just starting out with hiking and backpacking, start easy. Pick a local trail, one that's really well maintained, one that's not too long, and start there. It's really important that you pace yourself, and sometimes, just plain and simple, less is more. Tip number 2 is to check the weather. Now, if you're a more experienced backpacker, that may not be a big deal. I've never canceled a trip necessarily because of rain, but if you're just starting out, it's really important to check the weather, because if it's going to be one of your first experiences, you want it to be a good one. You want to have fun. You don't want to just ruin backpacking because you had to survive in the rain for a weekend and now you hate it. So check the weather, and if you have to reschedule, it's not the end of the world. There'll be other opportunities for you. Tip number 3 is to file a trip report. That doesn't mean that you have to go over here to this governing body and say, hey, I'm going on this trip. Here's my plans. What it means is, for your safety and for your peace of mind, it's important for at least a couple of people, whether it's family or friends, to know what your plans are for a trip and a deadline, so if they don't hear from you, they can send somebody searching. Shout out to my buddy Steve. He's over at Outdoor Nomad. I'll link his channel in the description below, and I'll link it at the end of the video. But he's doing some super cool outdoor stuff on his channel. He recently released a video on the Wichita Mountains Wildlife Refuge. And he reminded me on one of my previous videos that the All Trails app, which is awesome for backpacking and hiking, it'll let you share your plans for a trip. And it'll let you do that simply through a text message. You just hit the share button and send a text to whoever you want. So, Steve, I appreciate that. Tip number 4 is take the essentials with you. Now, I don't know what essentials you need, because I don't know if you're doing a day hike, or maybe you're doing an overnighter or a weekend trip. Heck, you may be even going for a week, who knows. But it's important that you do the research and take the essentials with you that you know you have to have. Now, if you're interested, I did a recent video on the gear that I take with me on multi-day trips, and I'll link that above, but that may not be necessarily what fits your needs. So do your research and make sure you take the essentials. Tip number 5 is function over fashion. Now, I cannot overstate, it's impossible for me to overstate how important it is for you to wear the right clothing. This is one of your most essential pieces of gear, and you may not even think about it. You got to leave the cotton at home, guys. No jeans, no cotton t-shirts. It's all either synthetic or wool. Okay, it is so important. Please hear me out on this. No cotton. If that gets wet, it's going to lose almost all of its insulation properties. Wool, synthetics, that's going to wick away moisture. And if you do get wet, the chances you getting hypothermia is a lot less. Okay, you're still going to have some insulation properties. So function over fashion all day when it comes to the trail. Tip number 6 is all about eating and drinking. My suggestion would be, when it comes to water, to hydrate before you even head out on the trail. Then while you're out there, keep pounding that water. It's so important that you drink enough while you're out on the trail. So even if you're not thirsty, keep drinking that water. If you're not sure how you should treat your water, there's quite a few methods that you can pick from. I've done a video recently, and I'll link it above. But keep hitting that water whenever you're out there. Now, when it comes to food, you're probably going to take too much, especially if you're doing a multi-day trip. So there's nothing really wrong with taking too much food. I still do it sometimes. So even if you're not really hungry, make yourself eat, because there's no way you're going to be able to carry enough food to cover those calories you're burning. It's just not going to happen. You can't take enough with you. So eat well before you go, eat well while you're out on trail, and then whenever you get back home, hey, now you still got an excuse. You can just keep on eating. Tip number 7 is to abide by trail etiquette. Okay? Most people call this leave no trace, and it's really important that anything you pack in, you pack back out. So all those food wrappers you get from opening that food up and eating it, you need to pack that stuff back out. You need to abide by any rules or signage in the area that you're in and be respectful and considerate of others. You want to help preserve things and leave it better than you found it whenever you hiked in. Then other people can enjoy it in the future. If you found any value in this video whatsoever, consider subscribing to the channel. And come on, you liked the video. Admit it. Smash that like button. Ring that bell for the latest notifications. We'll see you guys in the next video.